Hello, I'm Mrs. Erin Roush, and I'm here to bring you this week's Sunday School Bible lesson about God makes Saul a new creation, Saul's conversion. But before we start talking about that, I actually want to talk to you about baking. So, with baking, whether you're baking bread or a cake or cupcakes or whatever it is, you need your ingredients. You need your wet ingredients and you need your dry ingredients, and you have to combine them all together. And it kind of just makes a mess. You have to take that mess and you have to put it in a baking pan, and you have to add that element of heat to change it. And with our story about Saul, he needed to have that element to change his heart. He needed God. So our reading is from Acts chapter 9, verses 1 to 22. And if you could go ahead and read that and come back when you're done. So, to start off with our story, Saul's background was that he was a smart man. He was trained. He did a lot of studying. He would be what we would consider a Pharisee. Because even though he had done all of this studying, he still did not believe that Jesus was the Son of God. And so he had a hate for Jesus' followers because he thought they were wrong. And he hated them so much that he would go out of his way to hurt them, to imprison them, and sometimes to even cause them to die. So Saul was on his way to Damascus to arrest more of Jesus' followers. And as he and a few other men were getting close to Damascus, suddenly a bright light shone all around them, and Saul fell to the ground. The other men who were with him saw the light as well, and they heard what happened next, but they didn't understand. Of course, we know from the story that Saul heard Jesus saying, "Saul, why are you persecuting me?" And of course, Saul was afraid and didn't understand what was happening and yelled out, "Who are you, Lord?" And then that's when Jesus revealed that it was him. And Jesus told Saul to go to Damascus and that he would have to wait there for more instructions. So Saul got up and the light went away, but Saul couldn't see. He was blind. So the other men that were with him led him on to Damascus. And Saul was there in Damascus for 3 days. The Lord appeared to another man, Ananias, in a vision, and told Ananias to go to see Saul. Now, Ananias didn't really question what was going on. He just was wondering, isn't this the Saul that was throwing all of your followers in prison, Jesus? Isn't he the one hurting everyone? But the Lord had this to say about that in verse 15. He told Ananias, "Go, this man is my chosen instrument to carry my name before the Gentiles and their kings, and before the people of Israel. I will show him," Saul, "how much he must suffer for my name." So Ananias did what the Lord asked him and went and found Saul. Ananias went and blessed Saul and said, "Jesus, who talked to you on the road, who actually appeared to you, Saul, told me to come here and bless you." And so he did. And as soon as that happened, it was like scales fell from Saul's eyes and he could see again. And immediately he was baptized. Now, it's very interesting. Right after he was baptized, he began preaching and teaching people all about Jesus. So, the other thing that we have to take into account is that people knew what Saul was doing, the arrests and how he didn't like Jesus's followers. So the fact that suddenly he was telling people all about Jesus was quite shocking for a lot of people. And at first the disciples didn't really believe Saul, but when he started openly talking and preaching about Jesus in all the synagogues, they could tell that a miracle had happened, that Saul had been changed. So we know that God changed Saul's heart. And we actually know Saul in the later books of the Bible as Paul. Now, an interesting thing, if you want to read a little bit more about that, the first mention of that is actually in Acts chapter 13, verse 9, where Saul, who also went by the name of Paul. Now, there are a couple of Bible verses that are good to remember about this story, which is actually not from our reading. But the first one, 2 Corinthians 5, verse 17. If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old is gone, the new has come, which was written by Paul. But this other one, this last one, is a good one for us to remember, and it's from Jesus himself in John chapter 15, verse 16. You did not choose me, I chose you. What a great blessing for us to remember. God bless your week.